from the mud. There's dirt on my hands. Strong like a tree. There's roots where I stand. Oh, I've been running from the law. Try to catch me howling at the moon.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Beer Talks, episode 4. We're back over here at Helton Brewery with Brian. Of course, you guys know me and Justin from The Pint. So excited to have you back. We missed you.
Oh, thank you.
Welcome back.
We decided, of course, we had to come here to visit you. Helton Brewery is officially back up and running. Clean, safe, wonderful.
Absolutely. 2 reopenings, through all this. But yeah, we just had to do the right thing and, be on the safe side, make sure my staff felt comfortable. So yeah, shut down for an extra 10 days and another, sucker punch to the gut that you didn't think was going to come down the line. But, it's all good.
Yeah, you're back, you're cheerful.
We're back.
Maybe they got a little extra vacay time until they had to come back to work. So we definitely had to come here for a few reasons. One, because we love Helton beer. Never an excuse to not have a good beer. I'm drinking the Clear Intentions, one of my favorites from our beer talks. We also, of course, wanted to really feature them, get you guys to come here, visit. Obviously, still get takeout if that's what you're comfortable with. If not, come in. Everything's safely spaced and all of that for you guys to enjoy it. And of course, we really had to feature our girls' artwork back here.
Oh, yeah.
We love Cass, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Southern Cross, she's amazing. You guys ought to follow her. She's an amazing human to begin with, an amazing artist. But yeah, I love anytime that she wants to spend time here, I'll just give her free reign. I got a lot of great blank canvases here in this brewery. And whatever she wants, I'll let her do. And every time, I'm never, ever disappointed. I'm so this is amazing. Yeah, she does a great job.
What's cool is that she works with my wife.
Signed her down? Nice.
Yeah, she works with my wife during the day, and then she's done this. And she also did our can art on Midnight Lemonade, which is our collaboration with Dillinger.
Yeah.
So it's full circle there, and that's kind of our topic today is collaboration, beer, community, how it brings all that together. So.
I heard that the original one that she did, the jean shorts, were a little bit more, little smaller than normal.
Yeah.
I didn't have much of a problem with it.
Of course you wouldn't. No. They were a little, it was meant to be a bit cheeky and provocative because
that is her
it was
style.
very cheeky. Yeah.
Literally and figuratively.
Coming out of her room to get a beer, in her own home, wear whatever you want. But yeah, at first it was a little thong-ish, we'll say. It needed to be more pajama than that. But it was really cute. We still love it.
No, it's great. Yeah, that's kind of our topic today. So it's perfect that we're here with her artwork and full circle, of course, in addition to the beers. But go ahead, Kirby.
Absolutely. So today we really wanted to, with the release over this last Memorial Day weekend of our collaboration that we do at the Casual Pint with Tombstone down in Tombstone, Arizona, the Spawn of Earth. It is a double hazy IPA. It's now our 3rd year doing it. It's just delicious. So we definitely wanted to share that with everybody and then kind of bring up the topic of collaborations, of how breweries get together and decide they want to brew something. Maybe an individual really loves a brewery and says oh, can I brew a beer with you? As well as community. A lot of that side of the breweries that maybe not everybody sees. They may see an off event here and there, oh, they're doing this to raise money for this. But breweries that are doing things continuously to really raise awareness to different causes, support, raise money, and all that. So we picked 4 different collaboration and community beers for us to try today.
Cool. Let's get right
Start
into
with
it.
the first one.
Right into it. So the first beer we have, guys, is the Oso. It's the 1-800-273-TALK. That is the suicide hotline. Kirby's going to get into more of the details, but this beer, this is my first time tasting this version of it. We had it on tap a while back, but first time tasting it here.
So, one of the big things with this and the decision for to raise awareness to this cause is actually John, the owner and brewer of Oso. He's sadly lost quite a few of his friends. I want to say he had 10 different friends that were lost to suicide, and so he really wanted to do something to not so much raise money for a specific organization or anything, but to raise awareness that there's a hotline out there that you can call if you're feeling that kind of way, that you need some support. And was one thing he found from a lot of his friends was that they felt shamed and not wanting to talk about their feelings and them being upset and everything. And so it's his way of just saying there's somebody out there always for people to talk to and brew a good beer while they're at it.
John is like one of the most amazing people in our industry. Being an owner of multiple locations, I still see him out there, slinging kegs at deliveries and accounts. Someone at that level shouldn't be doing it. He's still doing it. I've seen him multiple times setting up his own tent. Just a really great guy to have in this industry. And a side note, I'm digging their artwork. Oso's taking a different stance on this. It's really cool.
Do you know who it is? Who that is? You recognize that name?
No.
Come on, tattoo guy.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool. Okay,
Yeah.
that totally makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's Corey Miller. He's a tattoo artist. And Brian's into tattoos. We're all into tattoos, of course. But
You don't.
Yeah.
They actually had a little
That makes
competition.
sense.
They had a little competition, and Corey Miller won.
Yeah.
The art is very much Corey Miller. If you know who he is, he was on Ink Master. He was on Ink
love that
Master.
show.
So
Yeah, it's well done. It's great. The matte white, it's just good done. Good job.
All right, cheers,
Let's taste
y'all.
away.
Let's
Cheers.
taste.
Cheers.
It definitely it's got a strong nose to it.
Yeah, this is Strata. They had a HB 337 before Strata was named Strata. It was a hop that it came out and everyone loved. We did a single hop series beer with it before it was even named, and it sold like crazy. But it's kind of a unique hop that kind of fit a missing, niche that we were all looking for. So yeah.
Yeah, Tombstone is all about the Strata right now.
Oh yeah, Strata's great.
They're all about it.
It's hard to get right now too. I mean, that's what happens. One hop will blow up. We all like it, then it's hard to get.
Yeah. So cool thing about it with community, back to the community and that aspect is Oso, and we've actually done a collaboration with them. So thank you for letting that happen. We will have Brett from Oso on here in a few weeks also. My favorite community aspect about Oso has got to be the pups. Got to be the dogs.
gosh.
Got to be the dogs. I mean, everybody, if you don't know Oso, get out to Oso. And if you love pups, you have to go there. Absolutely have to go. They're just packed with pups.
They do
amazing.
a lot with different shelters and rescues and such as well, besides just this cause. And I know that's something us at the Pint, we definitely love our puppy dogs. And, the weird occasional cat or pig that comes on a leash too. They're great as well. But we've done, our dog days every quarter. Unfortunately, we didn't get to have it this year, kind of right at the beginning of the shutdown process. But we are still doing, one of the things about the Spawnifer that we'll get more into is that part of the proceeds goes to Save the Cause, the dog rescue that we were going to do the dog day with, which is really sweet. So, but I definitely, there's not, for me, like, it's really not super citrusy. It's not super juicy. It's almost has like a dry thing to me afterwards.
Well,
It's just my palate. It's a little like weedish.
yeah.
Is that?
Yeah, no,
I
I get that.
Kind of.
Is that okay? So being called Bavarian,
I'm just
obviously.
going to guess on this one. What you're saying by the dryness, I'm guessing they use a lager strain. So that's why. So you're not
Okay.
getting that yeast strain of
Okay.
an ale, which I don't know. Someone can correct me or hit me up on comments.
Yes.
To me, it tastes like a Pilsner.
Feel free to
or
leave comments,
A
guys.
lager strain. So that's where you're getting that from.
Okay.
That's probably why they call it a Bavarian style. You know. But yeah, by doing that and having the ale spectrum taken away, that crispness is going to be there at the end, but you're getting all the hops. You know. So yeah, it's kind of more of that.
It's a nice little way to kind of do a different version
Absolutely.
of being hop forward. And,
I get it. It's pretty danky to me.
yeah.
Yeah,
Without those esters, those hops are going to come through like a freight train on you.
yeah.
Yeah.
Didn't it even say it's a West Coast? Like, does it say it's a West Coast? Or
Bavarian
it says
East Coast.
Okay, yeah.
Bavarian East Coast.
Cool.
Very unique. That's not like a lot of other beers out there right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, this one I could drink this one all day, and it's not light by no means on any spectrum of flavors or aromas, but yet because it has that crisp dryness, it doesn't leave that cloying, lingering,
Yeah.
palate fatigue that you can get with a lot of IPAs. After about 3 or 4 of them, you're like, oh, it's time to move on. This one, I could be sitting by the pool and drinking and eating all day long.
Excellent.
All right.
Ready for beer 2?
Yes.
Right.
On to our next one. So this one is the Altogether. This actually was a collaboration done with over 700 different breweries, over 41 different countries. Super cool. And it was in efforts to kind of similar to what Sierra Nevada did with raising money for the firefighters
Right.
during the California wildfires. They sent out a recipe and said, hey, whoever wants to make it, let's all do one together. And this one in particular is the Bottle Logic version out of California. And a lot of the proceeds and everything that they raised goes back to the service industry. And so for restaurantcare.org, it's a California-based company to give back during these times back to servers and bartenders and small businesses and everything. So obviously something we care about
Yeah,
very deeply. So cheers to restaurantcare.org. Thank
Yes,
you.
absolutely.
Thank you to Other Half. So Other Half started this in New York. Other Half is for beer geeks out there. We probably all know Other Half. For people here on the West Coast or even maybe in the Midwest, you don't know Other Half. It's very sought after out here. Very sought after. So they started this whole thing. I know who else locals done it. Oso's done one.
Dark
Wrenhouse,
Sky.
Dark Sky.
Perch did it as well.
Perch did one. Oh,
Yeah,
cool.
I read the whole list. 12 West did one. Boop boop. Hey Liz. We'll have them a couple weeks from now. I'm so excited. Yeah, there was I think about 20 or so different breweries just
In Arizona?
in Arizona and Southern California.
Okay.
I think I just kind of read the close proximity ones. Little Miss Brewery, that was one of my favorites
Miss.
back in Mesa. La Mesa, sorry, not Mesa from Arizona. That's a San Diego one.
I just have to read this one. Cass Cross just says, "Fuck yeah, son."
Typical response.
That's awesome.
Cheers, Sergio.
Love it.
Cass says, "Haha, miss you and everyone."
This one's a lot more juicy, sort of mild on the. I know
Yeah.
it was made with CTZ and
Which is Columbus Tomahawk Zeus. Just
Thank
let you
you.
guys know.
yeah, and a
That's
couple
why we
other
bring
ones.
them here.
Yes, for when I forget for having too many of these. And then they dry hopped it with Citra,
Yeah.
Mosaic.
Definitely got the mosaic on the, up in. The finish is Citra, which is nice. It's
Yeah.
nice and sessionable, easy. I mean, once again, you can sit here and drink this one and not get palate fatigue. Yeah, I think sometimes, a lot of you beer geeks out there look for that freight train, like 1-2 sip. This is absolutely fucking amazing beer. In all reality, to make a beer that is sessionable, we can have 5-6 of them and not get that palate fatigue I was talking about. That's kind of art, This is definitely one that's designed to showcase the delicacy of the hops, but yet never get to the point that you're like, it's time to move on.
Yeah.
So that's hard to do, and this is well done.
Yeah, Bottle Logic. Bottle Logic definitely known for their barrel program. Mm-hmm. Everybody here, especially in Arizona, looking for that next Stacy's project. But people don't realize they're everything from their light beers, their lagers, their pilsners. I mean, that 714 blonde is it's delicious, and then their hazies. They've actually come up with different names for hazies, which is funny. They have Anaheim hazies, and they have Chicago hazies, and New York hazies.
Because we need more adjectives and names here.
Well,
right?
Shit, we have to, because everything's been taken, You can't name a beer these days without getting a cease and desist, because everything's been taken,
Oh my gosh.
You got to come up with Badger Dandruff Ale before you know it. Like, are you kidding me? It's
How'd you go with that one? This is
Foot, toe,
I'm going to
sock.
take that. I got that one in. My next,
Patented.
There's some home brewer right now. It's like, damn it, that was mine.
It's like, I've been waiting on that. Just going to bring it to you next week. Talk to us. So I know here at Helton, like, you're super obviously like outdoorsy and active on your own personal. And I know you just started a year ago, 2 years ago, the Adventure Tribe.
Yeah.
Can you tell us about that project?
That kind of started of course, anytime beer and outdoor activities have always gone hand in hand, right? But I started noticing that people, my climber friends would be showing up on a Sunday and coming from Jack's Canyon, and then I just climbed with a bunch of people from, let's say, Black Rock, and they're sitting across from each other, but they don't know each other. Or, people that are mountain biking, on a Saturday and coming in, and athletes are sitting there. So this way, it's like, it's a group we're all here. We all can collaborate together and get to know each other and come together. And the Adventure Tribe was thought out originally by a good friend of mine, Carmen, and she had this idea, and then she moved away. And then Crystal came to me with this idea of getting this, running group together. Now we have like 3 or 4 running groups that will meet up on a Thursday, and we do these runs, and it's amazing. It's just a 3-mile run, so anyone can do it. I'm the sweeper, so I'll make sure everyone gets back here safely, so you can walk it. If you guys ever want to join this when we open it back up,
That'd be me.
you just don't always have to run 3 miles. You can just walk. You're going to be talking to me, so if you want to talk to me, then you're going to be stuck with me. But I make sure everyone gets back here safe, and we all drink $3 beers all night. But it's turned out to be anywhere from 30 to 60, people showing up on these runs, and
It's amazing.
now we're doing these camp outs and mountain bike rides, and it's just outdoor activities and beer just always have gone hand in hand.
Absolutely.
And it's not necessarily to drive anything besides just camaraderie of just getting to know your fellow person, and it's cool.
Yeah,
Yeah.
find people of similar interests and stuff
Yeah,
like that. It's like a book club for people that like to climb mountains.
Yeah, without being a club,
Yeah.
Some people are so kind of, like, I'm an adult. I'm not going to join a club. And it's like, this is a brewery. You can just have a beer and get to know people, and it's very low key, and nothing's expected, but yet it's been absolutely amazing.
Good.
It really has.
Awesome.
Yeah, that's great.
I love it. I have a friend, and one of our good regulars, Sammy, hey girl, says, we all together love great beer. Said, Dirty Socks Pale Ale, please do. Cheers, Brian.
I like that. Dirty Socks.
Dirty Socks Pale Ale.
I'm sure that has not been taken yet, so we might want to get that one out.
What was that? Walter Station did what was the
Brewers
bong
Boots?
water? They called it bong water, didn't they?
Oh, the 420 beer that
Oh,
they
yeah,
did.
Yeah, and it tasted like bong water.
That's how I felt about
They went for it.
Oh, that shot we had it last week at Helio. We had a little fun after the video. They had a couple of theirs that does all of their cocktails to go for them.
Yeah.
And they showed up with booze that they had, like
Hops. Mixed with
hops in
hops.
it, like fermented,
Yeah.
just soaking in it, whatever. And we did little shooters.
It's rough, ain't it?
Woo, man.
Everclear and hops. Everclear and
Oh, and then
what was
rum
the hop?
was the other one.
And then what were the hops though? I can't remember the hops.
I want to say
Either way, they were ass kickers.
it was gnarly, and I don't even think we had like a true shot. It was just a
Yeah.
like a tongue lick. Woo, that was bong water on
Yeah.
steroids.
Yeah.
It was gnarly. It was a lot of fun though.
All right.
Well, let's get into our collaboration with Tombstone.
So this one, I'll take this
Yeah.
a little bit.
Go for it.
This is something we do with Tombstone every year. This actually started with the owner of the other Casual Pint down in Chandler. Chad and Matt were both homebrewers, and they kind of got together and became friends. And then Matt decided, hey, I'm going to open up a brewery in bumfuck nowhere, Tombstone.
Are you gonna share?
Oh yeah, hey,
Just
no,
gonna
I'm just
pour
gonna
your
bogart
own,
the
okay.
whole thing. So they ended up talking as things go, and right after we opened in 2017, in 2018, right at the beginning, this beer came out, and it was a huge hit. So thank you, Chad. Thank you, Weedy. Thank you, Matt. Thank you, everything. We were able to put our name on it. But most recently, last Saturday, it just got released. They sold out at the brewery with the next day, I believe it was. I believe it was the next day they sold out. The artwork is done by a local artist. So it's really been a really awesome collaboration. This is our fourth batch, third year doing it. Every year now, Memorial Day weekend, it will be released. Pretty proud of it every single year. It seems to get a little bit better every year. Nice job, guys.
Yeah, we definitely have. I know we still have some package, and we have it on draft at the pint, which is cool. So you can. I know a lot of times I find it fun to taste the beer in a can versus on draft and see what the differences are. I prefer it on draft. I feel like I get a little bit more of it open up in the juiciness. But yeah, it's been a super fun beer. We have t-shirts too, just saying. Super fun. It's wider, holding a little baby hop. I love it. It's one of my favorites to wear because people are like, what is that? And it's just fun.
It's Mosaic and Citra.
Yeah.
Mosaic
absolutely.
and Citra. Double IPA, 0.3%.
Yeah, Weedy's a little evil genius down there. He's always putting out great beers. So, it's talk about collab. He's done a lot of great collabs in the state with some great guys. So it's neat to see someone open up a brewery like you said out in the middle of nowhere, and they'll come, and he's got the reputation of making good beer. People enjoy the good beer, so absolutely, and very sought out. They're very, very small. For
Very
them to,
small.
get out there and what they're doing. I think they did 400 or 500 barrels last year. That's it. That's nothing. And they're well known. So he's making some good beers down there. Absolutely.
Yeah. And I know a lot of times especially when we first opened, it seemed like they were at that capacity. It's like we're either going to get it, they're in keg, or it's going to be cans.
Yeah.
And they tended to, every time they made a new beer, it was kind of one way or the other. And we've since seen them grow and be able to do multiple, which is really cool. And talk about let's talk about that. So collaboration, obviously we're very fortunate to have that personal connection. And but how would you go about it? You're sitting over here going, oh, I love X brewery, it would be really dope to make a beer with them. What's the thought process of two breweries coming together, two people coming together to brew a beer?
Well, one will say you guys aren't going to like, just saying.
That's
but
okay.
This is the industry. It's two different ways, collaborations kind of work. Some of my best collabs have been with, let's say, Goldwater or Dark Sky, where, you sit down with, these guys and we start talking about whether it's a technique, a hop, or malt, or what we haven't done. And that maybe turns into 2 or 3 nights over beers and, well, let's work and do this together. And you from recipe formulation all the way to the end product, you're working with someone, or you're working.
I know it's coming here.
Yeah, you're working with someone else that just they want to like, hey, let's do a collab together, and you guys show up and take pictures and grain out, but yet the theory behind the recipe formulation is not there, of course.
Yeah,
you guys, right. So there's two ways of looking at it. When brewers are working with brewers, there's some really cool stuff happening.
Sure.
When brewers are working with off-site premise, accounts, some cool ass shit happening as well, because you guys are able to get certain things that we might want to do out to the public that we wouldn't be able to.
Yeah.
So when I decide to do something with someone like you guys, your avenue of getting it out there, your outreach is way farther than possibly mine. So you can get really funky and have fun with that.
Right.
So there's two ways of looking at it. Both are amazing.
It's really awesome. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm glad you brought that up that way.
Yeah, and there's no better, one's no better than the other. But the aspect of a collaboration when you're working with another brewer, sometimes when you ask me what makes you want to, is a lot of times just like what you guys are doing. You're having a beer, like, oh, that's amazing. What's up with why are they calling this Bavarian East Coast? Then you think about, well, what do they do?
Yeah.
Then you talk to Brett and talk to, what he did. And it's like, well, shit, I never thought about that. And it's like, a lot of times our inspiration comes from each other, or tasting somebody else's beer and find out what they did. So that's what's kind of cool about it.
Nice. Or mixing them.
Absolutely.
Going, this beer, like I told you the other day, I like your sour and your New England mixed. and figure that. I know it's me, like, even just working with some people kind of small status wise, like one of the things when I lived back in San Diego, the Coronado Brewery had this super cool program where they had a bunch of little kind of small batch barrels. They looked like gigantic soup pots, essentially, and you could sign up to like brew a beer with the brewer, and it was, you got to kind of choose what you wanted, and of course it was a little mix of like, here's the hops you can choose from, here's these, here's that, what's your idea, and I did it one time and it was so much fun that you could go in and go, ooh, I want to make this. It did not turn out great, I'm not gonna lie. But the guy was good friends with the mechanic there, and he let me dabble, and we just sort of threw a little bit of everything in there, and I think we tried to make this strawberry cheesecake sour, and it just did not turn out well. But it was really fun.
Sounds
experience.
Good.
Yeah, I know. Like somebody needs to.
You didn't actually put cheese in it, did you?
No,
oh.
no. Lactose. It was like a whipped cream kind of thing. It was okay. It just had like a really weird finish to it. But I think it's neat when people have those avenues, even for someone that is not a brewer to brewer, and so many people I think that collaborations can only happen that way. Like you have to know somebody, you have to be this big, this tall to ride kind of thing to be able to do it. And in actuality, it could be just a friendship and
or even better, like you guys talked about, some fundraisers that you can do, collaborations with, a Canine Connection, which we've done, or
Blue Pine Society.
Yeah, Blue Pine.
Yeah.
It's just like collaboration is just bringing awareness to everyone enjoying the beer. Which this community is amazing because we all support each other in like every avenue. So any collaboration, you're bringing awareness to their cause, your cause, but with good beer. So there is no bad collaboration. It's always a win-win. So it's always good.
hopefully there's no bad beer with it.
Yeah. Well,
that would always stink.
That's our job. Make sure there's no bad beer.
Right. Love it.
So a couple comments and questions here. Matt, hey, what's up, Matt? Matt was just in earlier. Thanks for your continued support. He says, another great Tombstone brew, smooth, good, hoppiness, love it. And then he says, I'll trust anything Brian and Rob are doing. Okay.
Thank you.
There you go.
Joe behind the camera is asking, what has been your favorite tasting collab, or what's been your, maybe not necessarily tasting, or best time, or maybe story or something? I don't know. I'm going to expound upon that, maybe.
Yeah.
Something.
Have you done collab? Yeah.
We did a
collab.
collab. The best story that I have with a collab is when you brew, there's a lot of hurried up and wait. In other words, we work real hard, and then there's a lot of time where, well, we're not. And during a collab, you're with friends, so of course we're drinking. I think it was Tiffany at Dark Sky and Rob, my brewer, got together, and we were doing something. Before I know it, I walked outside, and they literally made a typical potato gun, which we all know, but they supersized it because I hooked it up to CO2 on the brewery side.
Oh my gosh.
Right? And when they launched it, it's, yeah. And then someone caught it in their mouth. I forget who it was, but it's like, and we had it on film. Are you kidding me? So yeah, it's like, let kids play with a bunch of tech, geeky stuff back there. And I'm like, this is what brewers do when we're bored and drunk during a collab. We're trying to, I think it was an olive. We launched an olive, and tried it like they were catching it in their mouth, So the funness of doing a collab is great. That's probably the best story I have with that one.
That's a good one. I like that.
Yeah.
Kind of Kirby, back to community and collaboration in beer. It's all in one. Oso, again, very perfect for that. If you guys ever been down to the Arcadia location just down the street here, that's actually where we brewed two of our collabs. But the public can go in. Joe Schmo can put together a group and say, hey, I want to brew a beer with Brett down there, excuse me.
Yeah.
And same thing, it's the big it looks just like a big
It's
old
so
soup
cool.
pan.
Yeah.
It's a barrel and a half system. It's super small, but you get there, you're mashing in, and you're adding the hops too with them. So sign up down there. You can name the beers with him. They're pumping out beer like ridiculous, multiple beers a week. These little systems.
That's awesome.
It's great.
Like I said, I can't emphasize John Lane, what he does. And a lot of you guys might not even know his name as the beer geeks, but he's responsible for all this, and he goes under the radar with any type of notoriety, or just he's an amazing human. And when what Oso has done, like you said, from educational aspect on the homebrew or people coming in and playing around to mass distribution and to what they do in the can. We're lucky to have someone like that type of company here in Phoenix. So yeah, I always applaud those guys. No matter what they do. It's just cool. We're lucky.
That's you're talking about kind of brewers, obviously, getting together. It's stores or locations and more of the public is kind of a newer thing.
Yeah.
It's definitely a newer thing. I know other casual pints across the country are like, that just doesn't exist. Our local brewery, we approached them and they just like, what do you know?
Right.
Which is great about Arizona because we're all so open to doing stuff, and
Oh, hell yeah.
from our perspective, to be able to get together with breweries and cross market and get things out there, you will reach people that we can't, and vice
Right.
versa.
Yeah.
So it's just a great thing.
It's all
Yeah,
for the love of beer,
100%. And I know for us, like, we love, being just a tap house. It's great in the aspect that we get to carry so many different breweries and be able to share with people, local and otherwise, and everything. But it's really fun, when somebody comes in and goes, "Oh, do you brew this beer?" And I don't actually have to say no to at least something. I can go, "Oh, we did that one."
Yeah.
And then we had our opinion and our ideas on this, and it's really fun. And I think anything to support any kind of cause and bringing the community together. Just what better way than with
Right.
beer. So this last one that we're going to be tasting is by Bonehouse, one of our locals up in Fountain Hills. This is one we actually collabed with them as well at the Casual Pint. It is a raspberry ale. Pale ale, sorry. Raspberry pale ale. We've had it on tap. You might have had it at the Dutchman's Dream. They did a couple different varieties of this. Really fun. This kind of goes on that story of the gentleman trying to find his uncle that was lost in Arizona to search for gems. And this was the specific ruby red gem known as Wolfetti.
Wolfenite.
Wolfenite. Thank you.
Wolfenite.
Something like that. Wolfenite. So.
Yeah, this beer was actually initially it was during Beer Week. We had asked for a collaboration with Bonehouse and couldn't quite get it together in time. But so this was kind of just kind of a variant of their Dutchman's Dream Pale Ale, and it took off. It sold tremendously well there. It sold tremendously well at both Casual Pints. So they literally just out of the quarantine rebrewed it. Put it in cans. Put that awesome can art that I think we've featured Bonehouse how many times now?
Their can art's amazing.
It's just so cool. I was
awesome.
so happy when I think they sponsored a trivia or a bingo or something for us one time, and they brought those little art pieces.
Yeah.
It's like, can I please have one if you don't give them all away? And I love it.
Yeah.
It's in my house. There's just some really cool stuff. This almost it makes me want to ask the question of, a lot of times when you put fruit in a beer, it can be the legitimate fruit. You put raspberries, you put a puree in it or what. What are some other things that you can put in beer if, say, raspberries aren't in season, so they aren't going to be as juicy as get the right flavor that you want? Is there some other different things that people wouldn't think of that you could put in the beer to?
Well, I mean, that's where we're kind of at, the new frontier of as American brewers, we're mimicking the continental styles, what was indigenous in their backyard, so we surpassed that. Now we're going beyond that. We've gone, we talked about Oso adding donuts, to the beers, we got very creative and cool. But to make a balanced beer and to add things that shouldn't be in a style of beer is where we're at, Other than that, we're all moving into sours, which is mixed cultures and life underneath a microscope, which is cool as shit.
Yeah.
So, well, a lot of you guys know on my style, it's I don't add fruit unless I'm trying to. I mean, the Belgians added fruit. That's where it started. I would have never thought of doing this shit. I like this because raspberry by itself, the seeds are kind of bitter. A pale ale is bitter. They didn't do it with an IPA. This is it's kind of impressive because, just a normal pale ale with raspberries on this level, it works. And that's where we're at. I think, brewers are breaking boundaries and not taking, let's say pecan pie, and a bunch of bourbon and making whatever barrel-aged, stout. That's easy. But when you're starting to dial it back, and you're trying to make a more sessionable beer, they can have 3, 4, or 5 without palate fatigue. That's what we ought to call this session, palate fatigue.
Palate fatigue.
When brewers are able to make these beers that you're not getting palate fatigue and you're able to keep enjoying them, that's the key. I'm not going to say where I was, but I was at another beer bar that 2 people were sitting there and oh, it's the best beer I ever had. They didn't want to have it again. Palate fatigue. So when you're able to do this and make people want to have it again, that's amazing.
Yeah.
So raspberries are sweet, tart, and also bitter.
Yeah.
This a pale ale. That's amazing.
Perfect.
Yeah, this is really good. I'm impressed.
The pellet fatigue thing is especially in our position where we have 35 different beers up there and we have so much selection. It really you can always tell when somebody goes back to the same beer. You have 34 other choices, and now you're going to have that same exact one. It's that's a great beer. That's
it makes a statement.
Yeah.
As you guys as owners and bartenders, you see that. It's it's you go up and down the river, but we find yourself going back to that one.
Yep.
That's the one that it's for you for that moment.
Yeah.
So and that's kind of where we're at. I mean, we can all go out and have limoncello fucking lagers all day long, but when it's all said and done, and you're having a couple of beers at the end of the night, you want to stap and enjoy it and have 2 or 3 and not think about it.
This is when you could have you drink all night. And
this is well done.
Pool beer. I want to say this is in the 5.3.
I like that you bring up the whole, just the background mentality of it, of putting a bitter fruit with a typically bitter beer. And so there's a lot, I think, that kind of go out there that they just go, this sounds cool, or I want this fruit, and you're not always sure if they thought about the base being the perfect base for that fruit. And so that's, I mean, great job, Bone House. It's very intelligent, very smart to think about that. There are so many wackadoodle beers out there.
Yeah, and they're amazing.
Sure.
All of them are, you know.
Yeah, they're great, but that's like you have it the one time and you go, okay,
Yeah.
I had that lemon meringue pie, whatchamacallit.
Yeah.
Cool. That was tasty.
And I think it was, you know, I'm not going to name the brewery, but someone local that, you know, it's like, we would love to do these, you know, in sour beers or crazy beers, but they're at the level that their smallest fermenters are like 60 or 90 barrels. I'm like, how are we going to sell that when the general consumer will love it? It's the hottest beer out there that all you beer geeks and all the beer bars are buying, but you only drink one.
Yeah.
How the fuck are we supposed to brew that and supply that? Because Arizona doesn't have that much population.
Yeah.
It's not feasible, you know. And they're
No,
in that
that's a
spot
good
that they're
point.
in that medium area. It's like, we want to be the popular guy, but unfortunately we can't because we're so, you know, our system compared to, you know. So you get it.
Oh, that's interesting.
You get it.
It's really interesting because there are some larger Arizona breweries,
Yeah.
but they don't come out with a whole lot of specialty.
They can't sell it. I
Yeah.
mean, we would love to say that you guys would sell it for us. These,
Yeah.
you know, the beer, you know,
Yeah.
the beer places and the beer bars. But and you beer people out there that would love to drink it. But if you're only drinking one and out, guess what? They can't.
Yeah.
So some of the best brewers in our state are unable to play the game. So the small guys can.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah,
and they
that's
can
true.
only make a small amount and run out when there's a line out the door and make, you know,
Yeah.
all that, you know, be a popularity contest. But, you know, some of the best brewers I know, they can't because they just can't sell that much,
Yeah.
you know.
It's,
And I didn't think that until he told me that. And then I sat there and was like, oh, wow, I don't even think
I
about
never
that.
thought of that. I've always wondered why some of these larger Arizona breweries or larger breweries in general don't do that, and that's the reason.
If you guys would drink more than one, maybe 2 or 3 of them, they would do it. You know? But one and out sometimes doesn't count. You know?
No kidding. So now you know to bother your smaller breweries than your bigger guys to make the weird stuff that you want, for
Absolutely.
sure.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Don't be harsh.
A couple more things, all about balance. I think crispiness from a lager helps mellow out fruity sweetness big time.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yep.
Good job.
Uh,
Smart. Everybody's just waving at me.
yeah, we've got a lot of waves. A lot of waves.
That's awesome. I'm glad you guys are enjoying these and watching them. As far as, you know, I know today's your first day back open and everything, like, do you have any Adventure Tribe stuff coming up? Do you have any collaborations or community events you're thinking of? Or are you still
Get
kinda-
open.
Yeah.
Get open.
Stay open.
We've had enough social media and media presence on some of the decisions I made. I'm not doing anything. We're just going to you know, we've been brewing beer, making beer. Let's just stick with that.
Yeah.
I mean, at the end of the day, I'm just a brewer. That's all I've been doing. I just, you know, actually opened my own place. I just need to be steady, just making beer. That's what we're going to, you know, concentrate on. We had too many restrictions, whether it's from the CDC, the state, the Maricopa County, whatever. The Adventure Tribe, when we all can get together as 30 or 40 people and run and be happy and healthy, when that day comes, we'll celebrate. But until then, we're just steady quo. And it's unique that I'm in this position that not only did this sucker punch me and knock the wind out of me once, twice, I am hypersensitive on how I spend my money. No matter what I do, even if I can find a gas station that is not corporate driven, which is almost impossible, there's apps for this shit. But I will try to represent anyone that is an owner of a sandwich shop before I ever go through fast food. I never go through fast food anyway, but if I know anything that's local, throw your money, you know, to these people because they're dying right now. They might not tell you they're dying, but we're going to Arizona. We're about ready to hit 110 degrees, you know, this weekend. In all reality, if you guys would ever look and anyone would ever show you our financials, we make a shitload of money in the spring, and here's our medium. It drops for the next 4 months, and then we come back up during the holidays. So we need people's support. They need your support. Please vote with your money. And hopefully your local brewery, bar, sandwich shop, restaurant's still going to be there in October.
Yeah.
In October, like I keep saying, man, we need to have a big, if anyone wants to help me do this, a giant industry party in October, man.
I'll plan it.
Whoever made it, and then let's also give a moment of silence to people that didn't, because it's going to happen.
Yeah.
It sucks, man. It just sucks because we do everything we can, and we like breathe life into this. Like it's our baby, and it's going to be taken away because something that's unseen, you know. So on a positive note, let's finish off. What do you guys think? What would be your top beer that you're like really surprised? Not the best, but what surprised you out of these four?
Honestly, the raspberry pale ale.
The raspberry
to
on
me.
you?
Yeah,
Okay.
that would be mine.
I mean,
I really enjoyed that one.
I always go back to Spawn of Earth, but I honestly, that's one of my favorite beers of all
All
time.
right, so that's
but,
yours.
But that being said, as far as surprise.
Not the best. We're not saying the best by no means. Surprised.
It's going to be the Oso.
Right.
Surprised because it's. Correct me if I'm wrong, Oso. This is a different one than you guys had previously. This one tastes a lot more bitter to me. A lot. So that the surprise was there, and that's. The can art's just amazing too, by the way.
I'm going to agree with you. This one surprised me. When I looked at the can, I didn't know anything about this beer. And I might be totally wrong with my comments, but Bavarian East Coast, you look at that, you're like, huh? And you're tasting it, and you're just like,
what it was.
yeah. I was happy.
So
I'm
surprised? No. I knew this. This is my favorite. Not surprised. Not surprised. Definitely, probably the most surprised with the turnout of that one. Just kind of based on the previous one, I think was a little more, a little less punchy in the face. This one's definitely more.
Oh yeah.
I think we started off with the punchy in the face. Unintentionally, yeah.
We were thinking it was going to be like the last one.
Yeah.
As always, Sammy and Mike, two of our releases, just said they look forward to these every week. So thank you. That's very sweet.
Thank you.
We really appreciate it. Thank you guys again.
Hold on, one other thing. One other collaborative thing. The Ultimate Helton collab right now is going on in the works, attached.
Yeah.
You want to talk about the Shift caffeine?
John from Shift is an amazing human, amazing product. I'm a coffee fanatic, and you guys already heard me, give him praise. I don't stand behind a lot of people that say they're going to do their own thing, because you hear it all the time. I'm going to open up my own brewery, my own restaurant. 25 years of hearing that shit. It's like certain times you look at someone, you can see it, and you're like, all right, you actually probably have it. You probably are going to do it. Then you taste their product, and you go, oh shit, you can do it.
Yeah.
What we're trying to do, the city has given me some grief on opening up because of parking. I don't have much parking here in Phoenix. What we're trying to do is get him involved into a container, Board of Health approved, and he can actually start manufacturing it. Because it's good. I drink coffee. Literally, I wake up in the morning, I drink a pot of coffee by myself. I drink 2 or 3 cold brews every day by myself. I'm a coffee fanatic.
How's that heartbeat?
Wait till you get to my age.
Blood pressure.
Own a business, I'm going to be my age. Yeah, you need it.
Holy
I don't
crap.
sleep at night. But the point of it is, John's got a great product. He puts so much energy into it. He's got a great marketing. Everything about it is great.
I meant to have a bottle here. I'm so sorry, John.
We're trying to get him in here so he can get it going, because we introduced him to a couple of people in accounts, and it's like it's kind of funny. And he talks to me, and I'm like, he still has that mindset of, all right, should I really go? I was like, your mindset went from 50 bottles to 500 bottles. Now I'm trying to get to 5,000 bottles.
Yeah.
That's where you're at, and that's how good he is.
Yeah, it's amazing.
It's a product that you're just like, you got it, man. We just need to give you the space and a place where you can produce it. I got the space here. I'm 10,000 square feet. I only got half of it. So if he could use that for a couple of years before he can get to brick and mortar, have at it. Absolutely.
That's awesome.
He's a great guy and a great product. And possibly I might be sneaking a bottle 1 or 2 a day.
Yeah, John's good people, but I'm not. If anybody knows me, I am not a coffee person, not whatsoever. I remember when the day I was introduced, there was an event. It was a Helton event. We had, and Brian came up to me and goes, "You got to try this guy's cold brew. It's through the roof." And I was like, "No, thank you. Sorry. Just try it. Just try it." Right now he's got the sweet and he's got the turbo black, but he does variants. He does the coconut's coming out soon. Super excited for that. I love coconut. Super excited, but that sweet is killer. It's killer.
I don't even like sweet. And by the way, just a disclaimer: there's no affiliation, no family. You guys might know me. People that do know I'm an asshole when it comes to me, like, you know, putting a name on any type of my thoughts. There's no affiliation with John. His product is good for me to go, like, you know what? Please, as you grow, don't change your cost of good bottom line numbers, and don't cheat it. I mean, you have a good product now. Grow your company, stand by it, and don't like run it from bottom line numbers, because so many people do, and you get to a certain point that, you know, you're going to be tested. But his product is so good. That's why I told him, it's like, dude, you can do that jump. You can go from corporate and follow your dreams if you just do it and not concentrate on bottom line numbers, you know, because he's got it, you know, he's got it.
Absolutely.
I'm just a coffee black drinker, and even the sweet, I like the sweet.
Yeah.
I don't drink cream or sugar in my damn coffee. You know?
You're such a purist.
Yeah,
You're such
I
a
drink
purist.
it. I'm like,
Even his coffee is pure.
You know? He does a good job.
I will say, not gonna lie, I noticed a huge spike in our shift coffee sales when you had to close down those few days. So I'm sorry, but I'm also very glad at least that
Right?
they know it's at multiple places.
Still supporting local and still supporting someone to get to brick and mortar, and that's just it. You
Oh,
know?
we sold so much of your beer in that like 10 days. I swear, people were just coming in with Hilton. So
that's
it's
amazing.
That's what I love, is that everyone in this community is so supportive of everybody and going, okay, you're out of it. Where can I go? What can I do? And it's just fabulous. We thank you.
Thank you, community.
Arizona.
Thank
You're
you, guys.
amazing for keeping us all afloat and keeping us interesting and intrigued and trying new things. And you know, by all means, reach out with what kind of beer you want to see and what we can do. And maybe we'll do a Hilton
Collab.
Would
Absolutely.
be super
Plant that
cool.
seed.
Yeah.
We could call it Dirty Socks Paleo. We'll do something.
Well,
So
you could cheese out some hops like the Belgian. I mean, the cheesy ass hops, and you
Yeah,
know.
yeah.
All right, there you go. Taste Sophia, because I don't want to say the name of the brewery. If you guys know what Sophia is, and tell me you don't taste, you know, cheese. And they do that on purpose, because you can take hops and do a Belgian and actually make that flavor part of the beer. So yeah, that's easy.
I'm gonna have to go back.
I'm
to
telling
that
you,
beer.
that's where we all do. We talk, we taste. We're
I
like,
love
oh,
cheese.
You know, traditionally to do a Belgian beer, you want to cheese out the hops because you don't want those hops to be prominent fruit character or the bitter. I mean, you want the yeast to come through, the complexity. So yeah, it's unique to see some of the things that we do that you're just like, huh, never thought of that.
yeah, I love it. Brian, it was always a pleasure.
No, thank you
to
guys.
have
I
you.
love this. Absolutely.
I always feel like I just took like a rocket science class
that's awesome.
in beer every time I'm talking to you.
Love it.
And I get so excited. I'm like, ooh, I know what that means. Oh, I know what that is. So thank you,
no
as
worries,
always,
thank
for bringing us. We got some exciting new weeks coming up. We're going to go visit 12 West.
Oh, yes.
We're going to Oso, Greenwood as well, and they're opening. And we've got Merlin, a very good friend that is going to be it's in process of opening his new brewery. Ortega. Very excited about that.
Yeah.
So we've got some fun stuff. We're also working on some Flagstaff trips
Cool.
to go up there. So thank you guys very much. Have a wonderful evening.
All right, thank
We'll
you.
talk to you later.